can't believe we have to make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, well, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Idaho, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team.
Be proud of your children.
But stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
Welcome to the Ryerson Family Backyard Games. There will be obstacles to face and challenges to overcome. Are you ready?
Taking the hard path isn't always easy. It takes courage and determination to do hard things. Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
We're Valley-wide cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
I can't believe we have to make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, well, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Idaho, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team.
Be proud of your children.
But stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
Welcome to the Ryerson Family Backyard Games. There will be obstacles to face and challenges to overcome. Are you ready?
Make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, well, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Idaho, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team.
Be proud of your children.
But stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
Welcome to the Ryerson Family Backyard Games. There will be obstacles to face and challenges to overcome. Are you ready?
Taking the hard path isn't always easy. It takes courage and determination to do hard things. Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
We're Valley-wide cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Former regional champ and back in training.
That's commitment.
Ow.
Oh, tough start. This is not as easy as it used to be, folks.
And she's off, obviously pushing through some pain.
Every muscle is begging her to stop. How's she doing this?
I'm not even sure she knows.
Look at her go. And stop.
Come on.
And go again.
It's literally the home stretch. Whoa.
She made it. Feel the elation.
What fuels that kind of fire?
I am Kevin, and I'm from Idaho Falls. It's important for the disabled to be vaccinated because of COVID. I chose to be vaccinated because I didn't want to be sick or in the hospital. Getting the vaccination, my experience was painless and worth it. It was a very way.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of IdahoSports.com is strictly prohibited.
We are at Eagle High School, where the Eagle Mustangs have the ball near midfield and trying to go for it or thinking about going for it on 4th down and 9 at their own 45-yard line, but apparently they have thought better. We apologize for some of the technical difficulties. We've been kind of dropping signals here, but hopefully we've got it coming through to you now from Eagle High School. We have no score with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, and now we have a flag on the 4th and long when Eagle was getting ready to punt, and it's thrown in a spot that looks like it'll probably be backing them up. This is an IdahoSports.com game stream production of the 2022 Idaho High School Football Playoffs. Tournament coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, Your Health Idaho, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, and the Idaho Transportation Department. Also brought to you in part by Valleywide Cooperative and your local Toyota dealers. And local sponsors tonight include Liberty GMC, Fall River Propane, Idaho Drug, JAB Construction, Pro Pete, Bob's Bicycles, Mountain River Ranch, and the attempted punt is going to be chased out of bounds. Rigby's defense has stood up, and Eagle is unable to get a punt off, and Rigby is going to take possession all the way down on the Eagle 27-yard line for their first opportunity to score. Other sponsors here tonight, Taylor Chevrolet, Upper Valley Orthodontics, Scotty's True Value, Anytime Fitness, and Idaho Housing. Just some of those helping you bring this audio broadcast of this quarterfinals of the 5A state championships to you from Eagle High School. Del Gray for IdahoSports.com. Again, apologies for the late start. And we thought we had it all worked out, and then it dropped on us. But we're back in, and hopefully we'll be there as long as the rest of this one goes. But right now, Rigby putting on the first primary threat in the ball game, and they're looking downfield, trying to go down, and the receiver falls. Unfortunately for quarterback Longston, for quarterback Flowers, he overthrows his intended receiver, because if he had been right on target, his receiver had fallen down and the defender would have been there for the pickoff, but he throws it out of bounds. It'll be 2nd down and 10 at the Eagle 27-yard line. Flowers looking to the near side, looking for Coach Armando Gonzalez's offensive signals out of the pro set that the Trojans run. He's going to hand it off. No, he's going to fire it out into the flat. Nice little flat pass to Jace Benedict. He's going to get about 6-7 yards, in fact, all the way to the 20-yard line. So a little quick hitter on the outside, almost like a bubble screen, but there was no screen in front, just the quick outlet into the slot. And Benedict is able to pick up a good 8 yards, it looks like, from where they placed it just inside the 20. He'll have to get just inside the 18 for a first down here. We're underway, well underway in this first quarter, and so far it's been big defensive plays that have made the difference. We have yet to get a score with 3:47 to go here in the game, and now we have another whistle, and it looks like Eagle may have jumped on the edge again. This would be the 3rd time of the ball game they're called for a defensive offsides, as they have been very aggressive trying to come out of their stances and get after the Rigby quarterback, but come up short at this point. Rigby entering this ball game with an 7-3 record on the 8-2 record on the year, as they're trying to move on to the state semifinals and finals if they can for the 3rd consecutive year. They have won 2 of the last 3, losing in the championship game 2 years ago to Rocky Mountain. They are playing an Eagle team that they've met a couple of times in the early rounds of the playoffs in the last 3 years, but both those games were held in a Rigby. Handoff inside, nice power dive, and racing outside, breaking the tackle. Does he get into the end zone or not? I believe he's going to be just short. It's going to be 1st and goal coming up for Rigby. I thought he was dead to rights inside. That was I'm not exactly sure. It's hard to see here in the rain, but it's going to be a touchdown with no doubt about it, rolling in, and that is number 1, Sam Gamino. Gamino, the running back, powers it in, and I believe it was Gamino that he had the big run earlier. He went inside, and then all of a sudden found a little seam and popped way out to the left, went to the corner, got it to the 1, and Gamino gets the first score of this football game. A 1-yard dive with 3 minutes and 16 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And the extra point kick is good. And Rigby has taken the early lead here in the first quarter against the homestanding Eagles, Eagle High School Mustangs. And we're going to have that Rigby kickoff coming your direction in just a moment. You're looking for a fun family night out or a great company Christmas party idea? Mountain River Ranch Christmas dinner shows for November, December, and January at the Meadow Muffin Theater are booking now. Join Mountain River Ranch for a yummy dinner of barbecue beef or chicken and great country music entertainment by the Teton Riders, featuring world-class fiddler J.C. Seitz, Tom Logston, formerly of the Bar J Wranglers, Nate Nelson, and Joe Ficara. Go to mountainriverranch.com now to reserve your spots before they're all gone. You know, Bob's Bicycles on Fairview and Boise is family-owned since 1979, and their selection of mountain bikes, road bikes, BMX, cruisers, and comfort bikes is second to none. whether online at bobbicycles.com or on the showroom floor. Bob's Bicycles will have the bike, accessories, and clothing to fit your needs. And they have in-store financing, 6 months, no interest. Stop in, say hi to Vern. Bob's Bicycles, serving Idaho for more than 40 years and proud to support Idaho student athletes. And right now the support is coming from a very boisterous crowd in front of us from Rigby who've made the long trip cross state. I think there's nearly as many Rigby fans here in the stands as there are across the way for the homestanding Eagles. And ready to kick it off for the first time for Rigby. Towing it up and kicking it deep is Ben Witherspoon. It'll be taken at the 8-yard line, racing up through the middle and across the 30, the 35, and bringing it all the way out to near midfield is Mikhail Sneeden. Sneeden, a 6-foot junior, number 8. They're going to put that football down at about the 42-yard line, so about a 28-yard return by Sneeden. And the Mustangs will have a decent position, field possession to start this possession. They actually started way back at their own 10 on their first possession, so this looks a little better because they weren't able to get out of that hole and ended up giving a very short field to Rigby, and Rigby scored. Handoff goes inside, diving straight forward and out across the 45-yard line, and then hit hard. Running back Noah Burnham. Excuse me, that was actually Roman Walker, I believe, number 34, that picked up that yardage. We're going to put it all the way out to the 47-yard line, so about a 4.5-yard pickup on the carry. It'll be second down and a long 6 coming up for Eagle. Trailing 7-0 here as we move into the final 2.5 minutes of the first quarter here in the state quarterfinals. Handoff goes inside. It goes to Noah Burnham, the freshman running back. It was Burnham, number 31, who gets forward for first down yardage inside the 40, inside the 45, all the way down to the 43. So Burnham, 5'10", 155-pound scooter, at least that's what is listed in the books as a freshman, but he has showed pretty good speed and wiliness right up the middle. So the Eagles now in Trojan territory for the first time of this football game, seeing if they can't come up with some equalizing points here. Handoff outside and then cutting back inside. I believe that is Burnham again. Ball's inside the 40, down to about the 37-yard line, so about a 6-yard pickup on that carry. And Eagle starting to show some movement, strictly running that football up through the middle and finding some gaps off a tackle. Longston counting signals. Again, going to give it off to Burnham. He's going to cut back inside, and I believe he is going to be just short of first down yardage. He gets inside the 30, around to the 36. Looked like he was going to be marked inside the 35. Instead, it's just outside. So 3rd down and 6 coming up for Burnham and for the Mustangs. And you can hear the crowd in front of us starting to get their defensive chops up and hoping that their Rigby Trojans do just the same. They had a nice stop on the last possession by Eagle that actually put some pressure on, and Eagle was unable to get a punt off, and that gave Rigby a very short field. Longston has the handoff, gives it off to Burnham, and he's not going to get the first down. He dives forward to about the 40, maybe the 32-yard line. He's going to lose about 4 or 5 yards. Tremendous penetration off that line by the Rigby Trojans, and that'll bring up 4th down, and I would anticipate we may see Eagle go for it here on 4th down and about 4.5 or 5. The ball just outside the 38-yard line. They have got to get it down to about the 33, I think, maybe even inside that, and Eagle is going for it. Receiver split to the bottom, going into motion is Ian Duarte, and now we have a whistle. And do we have a timeout being called? I kind of think that's what, that's the end of the quarter. We've completed one full quarter of play here at Eagle High School, and it is Rigby 7 and the Eagle Mustangs nothing. Taylor Chevrolet is proud to support Rigby Athletics. Taylor Chevrolet has been serving the Upper Valley for over 90 years with excellent service and a stellar sales team. Taylor Chevrolet is the home of oil changes for life. That's right, buy any new or used vehicle and never worry about your oil again. Taylor Chevrolet is your Southeast Idaho auto leader with a wide selection of Chevrolet, Buick, and Cadillac models. Come in today and get the vehicle you want with oil changes for life. Stop by their Rexburg location or visit their website at www.taylorchev.com. Upper Valley Orthopedics is the Upper Snake River Valley's renowned state-of-the-art orthopedic and sports medicine clinic. Doctors Michael Larson, Kevin Lee, and Travis Thorngren are board-certified orthopedic surgeons treating all conditions of the shoulder, elbow, hand, wrist, hip, knee, foot, ankle, and sports-related injuries. Please call for an appointment at 208-356-9550. That's 208-356-9550, or request online at uppervalleyortho.com. Upper Valley Orthopedics in Rexburg, a proud supporter of Rigby Athletics. So again, we have that crucial fourth down play coming up for the Eagle Mustangs. They did not get the opportunity to try to trigger it before time ran out in the first quarter. So a big, big play coming up here for both of these teams. Eagle needing to get the first down to see if they can try to get the even up score here. And Rigby seeing if they can get another stop on fourth down. And we have a jump from the Rigby side of the defensive line. It seems like we see more motion calls on the offensive side, but that is the fourth call tonight, the first against Rigby, that has gone on a jump from the defensive line, and it is enough for the first down. So Eagle will have that football now all the way down to the Rigby 33-yard line, and being able to hold on to that possession and see what they can do to try to bring that back even closer. Hand off to Burnham. He may be a freshman. He's a speedster, and he's got good size, kind of short, but he barrels forward. He's going to pick up 6-7 yards down inside the 25-yard, right to the 25. They're going to put it right on the stripe there, so it'll be second down and a short 3 coming up for Eagle. So they, after trying a few pass plays and wide sweeps on their first possession, this second possession has been pretty much everything with Burnham right up the middle and trying to hit from the deep position. Changes in the Rigby lineup defensively, making a swap out. Coming out of the ball game is Zabe Falavai. Eagle with the football. Fake the pitch, give the pitch to the second man through, barreling straight forward down to the 5-yard line. This time it's number 33, Wiley Mays, I believe. 33, that is Brock Longson. Longson, the sophomore, younger brother of the quarterback. And Longson's going to take it all the way down to the 6. It's going to be first and goal for the Mustangs as they're threatening to tie this one up. We are just a minute into the second quarter as Eagle, with by far their most impressive offensive possession of the football game, and their first real scoring threat as the Trojans try to bite down defensively. They've made a couple of big stops already. Hand off to the first man through. That's Burnham. Looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Still wiggles his way down to about the 3. So a pickup of about 3. And it'll be second and goal. Excuse me, that's not the 3. I had it marked earlier at the 6. It was actually the 11-yard line. So that was a 4-yard pickup. It is not second and goal. It's second and 6 with about 7 yards to go to get it into the end zone. Longston calling signals. One receiver Running back next to him, handoff goes to Burnham. Burnham, the ball is fumbled in the handoff. They lose it, nearly piled on by Rigby, but Longston gets back to it and is able to cover it, but it's clear back to the 16-yard line. So a loss of about 9 yards on that play, and that will bring up third down at about 15. They're going to place it right at the 16, so we'll call it third down and 15 at the 16. So they do have the space to get a first down, but it's going to be really tight, and I would think they're not thinking that. They're looking about execution to the end zone here, and it's certainly 4-down territory. Third down is the call right now as Longston's calling signals. Here come the rushers, the blitz from Rigby. They get the little bumper screen inside, coming forward and losing the football, but out of bounds. The reception was made by number 1 for the Eagle. That's Ian Duarte coming across the middle to beat the blitz that was going right up the middle. He got it all the way down to about the 6-yard line. When he went down, lost the ball, it went out of bounds. They're going to call him down at the 6. So it'll be 4th down and 5 for the Mustangs at the Rigby 6. We have 8:48 remaining here in the second quarter, the first half. And Eagle is at least indicating they're going to go for the field goal as Justin Moss is in to attempt what would be a 23-yard field goal attempt rather than trying to force it in. And the kick is blocked and covered by Rigby. And so the Trojans defensively have turned the Mustangs away and will take over possession deep in their own territory. In fact, I believe with the field goal, when it's inside the 10, we're going to bring it back out. Are they going to put it right there at the 9? I thought you actually got a little bit of improvement on that when you stopped them on a field goal outside inside the 20. Nope, they're going to put that pigskin down with the nose at about the 9-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Rigby. They don't care that it's deep. They have the possession, and they still have that 7-0 lead. Luke Flowers back, calling signals. Lone back beside him. Goes outside, and that is Flowers going to keep it. He looked like he was going to give it to his back coming across behind him, but he kept it, and he's going to scoot outside to about the 17. It's going to be enough for the first down. He was at the 9, so that's going to be a pickup of about 8 yards on the carry by Flowers, the junior quarterback. Rigby with all kinds of ages in their mix. They're not a heavily senior-laden team, which I guess you kind of expect that for a team that's trying to defend a state title because they had a lot of seniors last year, but they got a young crew that's out there and trying to pick up another win and another state title to see if they get 3 out of 4 years. But the pass out into the flat, that was intended out there for Aaron Archibald, and it will be short. It's off of his fingertips, so it'll be second down. They make that 3rd down and 2 coming up for Rigby. Deep in their own territory. They were just trying to find something in the flat to one of the tight ends to pick up 4 or 5 yards in the first down, but they could not make the connection that they wanted. Flowers again. His running back is deep. I mean, really deep. And he's going to take the handoff going straight forward. That is McCullough, and he's going to get the first down yardage, I believe, all the way to the 20-yard line. He was a good 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so getting a lot of juice build up before he got the handoff, and he was at full steam when he got the handoff from Flowers and then into the hole, had just enough of a space to pick up the first down. So 1st and 10 for the Trojans at their own 20-yard line. 7:52 to go here in the first half. Rigby with a 7-0 lead. Pass intended out into the flats, trying to find Kig Steffler. And Steffler, that pass from Flowers a little behind him and low. It'll be incomplete, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for Rigby. You folks that been following all year long certainly know exactly what kind of a season the Trojans have had, and talk about a couple of near misses of having a perfect season. They lost one in the third week of the season to American Fork High School out of Utah, 7-13, and then had a lead against Highland back in the early stages of October, only to have Highland score 22 fourth quarter points and take a 43-42 win, which ended up giving Highland the top seed out of a 6th district over the 5th and 6th district for the 5A ranks. And that's why Rigby, though the defending champion in 2 out of 3 years, is on the road here in the quarterfinals. And they faced Eagle in 2019 and again in 2020. Both those games were played at Rigby, and Rigby came up with victories on their way to the state championship game each of those years. Flowers rolling out, fires it out into a flat. Beautiful pass right in the middle of the zone defense, picking up about 22 yards to the 40-yard line. And coming off with that football is Brady Packer. Packer just simply set into that zone. He had 3 black shirts around him, but they gave him the space, and Flowers found him with a strike at the 40-yard line. Trojans looking to the near side, looking for direction and inspiration and the signals from Coach Gonzalez. Flowers gets the snap, steps back in the pocket, being chased out of the pocket, rolls to the right, fires it downfield, another completion, and I believe that may have been Packer again. No, this is the tight end that comes up with the play this time, and that is Aaron Archibald, who gets the completion all the way down to the Eagle 40-yard line. In fact, they're going to mark it out at the 39, it appears. And the Trojans are in Eagle territory for the second time here tonight, trying to add to a 7-0 lead with 6:35 to go in this second quarter. Officials having some kind of conversation on the far side of the field about 20 yards behind the play. Not exactly sure what it is. The white cap is there along with 2 of the other officials. Both teams are at the line of scrimmage all the way up at the 40 or 39-yard line of Eagle, and looking back to where the officials are, and one of them is pointing to something at about the 40, which would have been the line of scrimmage prior to the completion of that pass. And now the official, head official, is moving toward midfield. Let's see if we get a signal from him. He's massaging his left shoulder, but I can't really see. He's now facing the broadcast booth and the home side on the far side of the field. I do not know what the call is. Whatever it apparently is a personal foul, because it's going to take the ball from the 40-yard line. Instead of at the Eagle 39, we're going to be all the way back at the Rigby 25-yard line. So a 15-yard march off from the 40. So it'll be 1st and 25 coming up for the Rigby Trojans deep in their own territory, rather than knocking on the door at the Eagle end of the field. 7-0 Rigby with the advantage. As we said, trying to get back to that state title game for the 4th consecutive year. Flowers with 2 receivers split to the bottom of your screen if you were watching this, but it'll be split to the right nearest us, and we have a jump. This is the offensive line that moves this time. First time, the 5th time we've had line movement, but the first time it's been the offense debited with that 5 yards, and that's going to make the hole even deeper for the Trojans. They're now back at their own 20. They have to cross the 50-yard line for a first down, but it's still first down, so they've got plenty of downs to work with here. Flowers, handoff, goes inside, breaking a tackle and taking it across the 25 out to about the 26-yard line. That was McCullough. Lucas McCullough, the senior running back. So he picks up about 5 of the 30 yards they needed. So it's still 2nd down and 25 coming up for Rigby. Clock is rolling. They want to do ball possession even though they play out of that pro set offense. Flowers back to pass. Shovel pass to his tight end, Archibald. Archibald's going to get ahead for a couple of yards. Then he breaks another tackle, gets all the way out to the 35-yard line. So a 10-yard pickup for Archibald on that tight end screen that they kind of ran up the middle. And Eagle actually responded pretty well because for a while it looked like he was going to be wide open. But he's brought down at the 35. It'll be 3rd down and 15, make it 3rd down and 16 coming up for the Trojans. I want to remind you later in this ball game we'll be choosing a Idaho Transportation Department player of the game. Right now, that one is wide open. Flowers passing it over in the middle. A great completion to Cade Steffler. Steffler is nailed short of the 1st down yardage. He's going to be dropped at about the 48-yard line. Great crossing pattern to Steffler. They're going to mark it at the 47. So 4th down and 3 coming up for Rigby now. After having it 1st and 35, it's now 4th and 3. You want to keep moving this football or maybe risk giving it back to Eagle with 4:40 to go, and Rigby right now looks like they're going for it. Let's see if they go to a hard count and simply try to draw Eagle off sides. And now we have a whistle and timeout being called by Eagle. So with 4:31 to go here in the first half, it's Eagle that calls the first timeout of the ball game. And it'll be Rigby with an opportunity to think about what they're wanting to do here on 4th down and 4. Scotty's True Value and CarQuest is dedicated to providing you with great customer service and a wide variety of products unmatched to help take care of your every hardware, automotive, and weekend project needs. Located at 201 South Straight Street in beautiful downtown Rigby. Give us a call at 745-6498 or visit online at truevalue.com/Scotties and let us take care of you the hometown way. Scotties True Value, a proud supporter of Rigby Athletics. Go Trojans, and I believe that is just truevalue.com/Scotties. Anytime Fitness is Rigby's best 24-hour fitness center. Be sure to visit their location on Rigby Lake Drive to get started today. Time to get ready before the holidays are here. Go Trojans from everyone at Anytime Fitness. And the Trojans just about ready to go again facing 4th down and a long 3, short 4. They've got to get it across the 50-yard line. They've got it at the 47. As quarterback Flowers is solo in the backfield. He's naked there in the shotgun. Gets the snap, looking downfield, gets the completion out into the hands of 14, and that is again Cade Steffler, and Steffler breaks a tackle at the line to gain and is able to get another 10, 12 yards. He's going to get all the way down to the 37-yard line. And right now, Rigby executing very, very well with the quick outs and the crossing patterns, the kind of the short passing game that's picking up big yardage. They've got it at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10, 4:23 remaining here in the first half. Flowers again, the pass, steps out of an apparent sack, goes downfield, throws it across. Whoa, what a dangerous pass. Kind of a sidearm back to the right as he was running to the left, and his receiver was not in the picture. A defender nearly came up with it. That could have been a disaster there for the Trojans, but it falls harmlessly to the turf. The turf, surprisingly, on the field here tonight is in good condition. This is an AstroTurf field, and even though the near sideline where the Rigby kids are is pretty much inundated with water. In fact, most of the ball players on the team are standing inside the yellow stripe they're supposed to be behind because everything behind them looks like Henry's Lake right now. Keeping the ball is Flowers. He scrambles right up the middle, and he's going to get good yardage, short of 1st down yardage, but he'll get it down inside the 30 to about the 28, and it'll be third down coming up, 3rd down at about 3.5 maybe for the Trojans, and they continue to work that clock. We're inside 4 minutes here in the first half. Flowers again solo in the backfield. They've got trip receivers bundled on the left side of the field. One receiver split way out wide to the far side of the field. We're playing off of the hash marks on the near side. In motion, no, Flowers going to keep it, and he starts to go forward, and he somehow gets through. I thought he was buried short of the first down. He's going to get it all the way inside the 20. So the first effort didn't get it, but the second effort broke him free, and Flowers will take it all the way down to the 18-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans, trying to take a 2-score lead here with 3:21 remaining here in the first half. Flowers now has a running back behind him. That's been a strange sight. He hasn't seen much for the last few plays. And now Eagle is drawn offsides. And both these defenses have been very aggressive in this ball game. That will be the 4th time that Eagle has defensively jumped the gun. And that'll mark the ball all the way down to the 12-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 5 for the Trojans. Changes in personnel, splitting out to the right side to Brady Packer. I guess he's practically in a different county out there all by himself on an island for the Trojans. Everybody else on the left side of the field as Flowers gets the snap. He goes to pass, goes back to pass, fires it well in out of the end zone. He was looking deep, but the defense was there, and he'll just simply throw this one away and live to play another day. 2nd down and 5 coming up from the 12-yard line. If you're an Idaho homeowner and have fallen behind in your mortgage because of the COVID-19 panic, you know help is available. The Idaho Homeowner Assistance Fund can help you get back on track. Check your eligibility and apply today at IdahoHousing.com/HAF. IdahoHousing.com/HAF or call 888-991-2166. Flowers with now trips to the top of your screen or out to his right side. He fires to the end zone and wide open. A beautiful pass that will go to number 14, I believe. That'll be Cade Steffler getting the, we'll take that back. That is Brady Packer who comes up with the reception. So from 12 yards out, Brady Packer scores the 2nd touchdown of the ball game, the first passing touchdown as Flowers throws that to him. It's 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining here before halftime, and the kick is up and on its way, has plenty of height. It's excellent for Witherspoon, and it is a 14-0 lead in favor of the Rigby Trojans as we're nearing halftime here in Eagle. Fall River Propane serves all of the Upper Valley as well as Island Park with the highest quality, hottest burning propane at competitive prices. Our industry-trained and certified service staff offers more than 70 years of experience. Fall River Propane services all makes and models of propane fireplaces and stoves. Fall River Propane, your full-service propane provider for homes and businesses. Check them out at fallriverpropane.com or call anytime at 800-632-5726. Fall River Propane, experience the difference. And the difference right now is the first score for Rigby was a rushing attack, and the second score in almost every play on that drive was a passing connection with Flowers putting the impetus behind that pigskin and eventually getting it into the end zone to Brady Packer. Packer's first touchdown of the night, senior wide receiver, and Witherspoon is getting ready to kick it off for Rigby as the Trojans are looking to see if they can't expend and hold on to this 14-0 lead as we have just minutes remaining here in the first half. Eagle with a return coming and racing from the right sideline all the way up the middle is Mikhail Sneeden, but he put most of his yardage on moving across the field. He'll get it out across to the 35, and that will be as far as this one goes for the Mustangs. In fact, they're going to put it down at about the 32-yard line, it appears. At least that's where one pigskin is, but the official holding a football. And they're going to march it off. Oh, it's a penalty against Eagle, and the official was marching the wrong direction. It's going to go from the 32, so apparently we had a block in the back or a hold or some kind of infraction from the Eagle return team, and they're going to have to start this one at their own 21 instead of across the 30. So 79 yards the Eagle Mustangs have to traverse with 2:32 remaining here in the first half, and the Mustangs trailing the defending state champion Trojans 14-0. Handoff inside, going straight ahead is Burnham. He'll pick up a couple of yards across maybe to the 22. I think they're only going to give him, they're going to put him all the way out to the 23. So a couple of yard pickup for Burnham. It'll be 2nd down and 8 coming up for Eagle. So far, we have seen a rushing attack that has moved the ball pretty well for Eagle, but they've not been able to punch it in. And when they went and settled for what looked like it might be a chip shot field goal, they had it blocked. So far, they have been simply shut out by these Trojans. Snap, handoff, goes straight inside. That's Burnham. He breaks the tackle. He's into the 25, out to the 26, maybe the 27-yard line. Call it a pickup of about 4 yards, and it'll be 3rd down and 5 coming up. But Rigby is calling timeout now. At least that's the indication from the official near us. So with minute 45 to go here in the first half, Eagle with the football, and they've got a 3rd down and 6 coming, and I think maybe Coach Gonzalez and the Trojans are thinking, hey, let's use a timeout and see if we get really good field possession, and maybe we can do something with it yet before halftime. Idaho Drug and Rigby, a tradition in pharmacy since 1947 where your health is their priority. Whether you need a prescription refilled on your mobile app or a gift for that someone special, visit Idaho Drug at 139 East Main Street. That's 139 East Main Street for all your pharmacy and drugstore needs. They also offer free local delivery. Idaho Drug, proud supporters of Rigby Athletics, wanting to wish the boys good luck in the tournament. And obviously they're off to a good start here in the first half. At Jab Construction, they won't tell you they are the right choice. They will show you. As Rigby's #1 custom home builder, they are dedicated to honesty and communication to ensure your property is built the right way. When you use Jab Construction LLC, you not only get your dream home, you get a lasting professional relationship, the way it should be. With decades of experience, let Jab Construction build the home of your dreams. They're excited to get to work. Go Trojans, and Trojans trying to get to work defensively here on 3rd down and 5, and Longston's going to be dropped. He tried to get out of the pocket, was chased out, going to lose a couple of yards. It'll be 4th and long coming up, and Rigby is going to take another timeout here. They want that possession of the football back. They want as much time on the clock as they can get. There's a minute 38 right now because Eagle is definitely, I would think, going to try to punt this football. They're going to have that pigskin at about the 24-yard line, and they'd have to take it out across to about the 32 to get a 1st down, and they're in their own territory, so don't expect they're going to take that kind of an opportunity. ProPete Fertilizer is an enviro-friendly product that reduces leaching. ProPete can help replace organic matter back into the soil. Peat-bound nutrients release when plants need them. Carbon 90 Plus binds nutrients to the natural carbon of peat moss, encouraging steady plant growth for healthier turf with less mowing and thatch. ProPete is a great product for turf and ornamental applications. Uses range from lawns and gardens to shrubs and trees. ProPete wants to wish the Trojans good luck in the tournament. Well, all these Trojan boosters, I think most of them are probably right here in the stands here in Eagle, just northwest of Boise. On a crisp night, the rain that was falling most of the afternoon seems to have stopped at the moment. The field is in good condition. It's an AstroTurf field. It's excellent out there. And Eagle is going to have to try to punt this one away. and hope they can get a real ripper going. And Rigby goes after the punter to try to get the return, and the fair catch is going to be taken by number 16. That is Parker Graham at the 42-yard line, at their own 42-yard line. So Rigby with 58 yards and a minute and 33 seconds to go, hoping they can get some more points up on the board before the intermission. Trojans have put up over 40 points in 5 of their last 6 ball games. And even the 1-point loss to Highland in October was a 43-42 final. So offense has not been a problem for them, and they would certainly like to add to those numbers here and try to kind of get right back on beam for a 40-point ball game if they could punch it in one more time here before the intermission. And now we're going to have to do it from a little bit further downfield as the offensive line got a little bit antsy, and we're going to have a movement on the line called against the Trojans. So they'll back that one up to about the 37-yard line. Tournament coverage on IdahoSports.com presented by Project Filter, Your Health Idaho, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, and the Idaho Transportation Department, also brought to you by Valleywide Cooperative and your local Toyota dealers. Flowers looking downfield. He's firing on the fly. It's down to the 10. And actually at the 20 and knocked down at about the 13-yard line. What a connection. A beautiful pass from Flowers to Brady Packer. Packer nearly had his second score of the ball game, and just that quickly, 40 yards is gone, and the Trojans are down at the just inside the 15-yard line of the Eagles, trying to add to that total. Handoff, it's a faked handoff to Lucas McCullough, and Flowers is going to be swarmed. Didn't fake anybody out that's out there in the black uniforms for the Eagle Mustangs, a loss of about 5 yards. In fact, they're going to put it at the 20. They've got it at the 19-yard line, so we'll count it a 4-yard loss. And the clock is continuing to roll. We're inside 1 minute to go here in the first half. It's already a 14-0 Rigby lead, and they're looking for more. Pass over the middle is going to be sniffed out. That pass again to Packer as he's coming across the middle of the line, and he may get a yard at most. And timeout, the third and final timeout of the first half, is called by Rigby. With 42 seconds to go, they're going to be looking at 3rd and 13 at about the 15-yard line. So trying to see if they can't come up with something to make this work. You know, always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the IdahoSports.com Prepcast cover every inch of Idaho. Hosted by Brandon Brainey. Each Prepcast features our in-house experts talking about what's going on in your part of the state. Just go to IdahoSports.com, click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing. As you're sitting there, and tonight you're not really watching, but you're listening, there's all kinds of things you can explore on the IdahoSports.com website. And part of that is taking a look at some of the great photo files that are available from our Idaho sports photographers from across the state. Choose some that maybe you've got a favorite ball player that would be featured in some of those. Take a look when you get an opportunity to. They're covering games all over the state. We are covering games all over the state, either a video combo or an audio only here this weekend, as we have, I believe, 19 of the 22 games being offered this weekend are available here on IdahoSports.com. And you can probably even shift around to some of those here tonight, particularly the audio cast. You can move from one to another to see what else is going on. Rigby has got it going on right now, and they're trying to get into the end zone again. They're going to fire it deep, and does he hold on to the... We're going to have a flag, and I believe it's going to go against Eagle, but holding on somehow. A beautiful pass to Cade Steffler. Steffler pulls it in the end zone. We're waiting for the official indication of whether it is a touchdown or not. The officials are kind of getting together. It would be an 18-yard strike if it is good. Flowers to Steffler. And the officials deep in the end zone is still not indicated whether that was a touchdown or not. Steffler looked like he had it and was pulling it down when he was collided with deep. Are they going to call a penalty the other direction? I'm not sure. We still haven't seen an official call. We have it at 14-0. So apparently it is a touchdown. Okay, so a 17-yard Flowers to Steffler touchdown with 36 seconds to go. The penalty is a personal foul for the hit deep in the end zone that will not be enforced until they do the kickoff. And now Eagle is wanting timeout to talk about it. So quickly, the Rigby Trojans have blown this one somewhat open in the last 3 minutes of the first half. We often talk about what we call the middle eight, the last 4 minutes of the first half, the first 4 minutes of the second half. And Rigby, knowing that they would not get possession of the ball for the start of the second half, wanted to make sure they got as much space as they could before we went to the intermission. So they used 2 of those timeouts beautifully defensively when they had Eagle pinned kind of deep and were able to get good field position in the middle of the field. And then that combination of Flowers to Brady Packer has been just deadly. And then this time Steffler on the little post pattern right up the gut is able to grab a hot pass coming from Flowers for the touchdown. And it is now a 20-0 lead for the Trojans. We have about 36 seconds to go. And we're waiting for Eagle to return to the field after their timeout for this extra point attempt coming up from Witherspoon. Ben Witherspoon trying to stay perfect with his toe on the ball. No, Rigby is going to go for it because they've moved the ball down to about the 1 yard line with the penalty, it appears. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion here to see if they can make it a 22-0 lead. Handoff goes and diving forward and not making the conversion. That was McCullough trying to dive in there, so even though they got the benefit of the penalty, they come up short on the run fail, and it is 20-0 in favor of Rigby with 36 seconds to go before halftime, and the Trojans will be teeing it up one more time here in just a moment to see what they can come up with. I don't know, do you try a onside here since you've got so much momentum going your direction and possibly get one more strike opportunity? Eagle has not shown that they've had really a passing attack. Whatever yardage they've picked up has been pretty much with a run, whether it's their quarterback running it himself or with his freshman rushing back. Witherspoon ready to, or at least getting the ball ready to put it on the tee at the 40-yard line. Looking to see who's back deep. For Eagle. Back there being Mikhail Steeden. He has, believe had all 3 of the 2 earlier returns on the kick coming from Witherspoon. This is going to be a skipper. It'll be picked up at the 25-yard line and racing to the near sideline, but not getting out of bounds. He had an opportunity to, but then turned back upfield. That is Jake Mortimer, senior wide receiver. And if he thought he had a seam that he might be able to run with, but it'll be down at the 30-yard line. 31 seconds. And the clock about the Eagles move to the far sideline. They're talking with their coach, John Hartz, on the far sideline, now returning to the field. So 1st and 10, Eagle at their own 30-yard line. The last thing you want to do here is make a mistake and give Rigby an opportunity to pile on. Handoff, no, keeping the ball. That's going to be Longston. Longston breaks a tackle. He's to the 40, out to the 45-yard line. He raced up the right side and then back into the split. That's Jake Longson. And he's going to race over to the far sideline to get instructions from his coach because they've called another timeout. I believe that may be the last timeout. Get a look at the scoreboard. This is a digital scoreboard here at Eagle High School, so sometimes you don't see all those little markers that let you know all that extra information, but it is a timeout for the Eagle Mustangs. If you joined us late, we apologize for some of the technical difficulties of trying to get this one on the air, but we, I think, have overcome that, and hopefully you're enjoying this broadcast, particularly all you folks up there in Rigby got to be feeling pretty good about the start of this one. And the opportunity to move on. Last year, these two teams had got to the semifinals. Eagle falling to Highland, and then Rigby with their win in triple overtime against Meridian, moving on to the finals and then beating Highland in the championship last year. Of course, Meridian back right now as the undefeated number 1 ranked team in the state. I'm not sure what they're doing tonight. Eagle finished their regular season in their cross SIC playoffs with a shutout loss to Meridian. So Eagles now 6 quarters in without a score. They're going to fire it out into the flat. Longston gets to his wide receiver out there, Ian Duarte, and Duarte's going to get into Rigby territory all the way down to the 31. There's 15 seconds on the clock, and the clock's going to start as soon as the ball is set. It is rolling, and Longston's going to simply spike this one, and Longston will have an opportunity to see if they can try to get to the end zone. That's really the first long pass connection we've seen of the ball game for the Mustangs. And that coming from the senior Longston to the senior Duarte. Trying to see who's set deep behind Longston. Longston actually up under center this time with 2 receivers behind him. Handoff, now they're going to bring it back around to the near side, and it is Duarte bringing it clear across the field. He's going to run about 60 yards for a pickup of about 4. Duarte was coming on the wide receiver reverse from the left side of the field, brought it completely across, and ran out of bounds at about the, we'll call it the 27-yard line. So it'll be a 3rd down and 6. Doesn't really matter because this will be the last play likely of the first half, as there's 5 seconds on the clock after Duarte was able to get it out of bounds. Three receivers split out to the left side, including Jake Weaver, who's clear out to the left side. Longston is facing pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Longston's tried to step up into the pocket, and there to make sure he was going nowhere and putting an end to this first half was Abram Womack. Womack, the defensive end, steps up and puts the final touches on this one. And what started out to be kind of a defensive battle, both teams kind of punching each other a little bit in the midsection, but not doing much after that, ended up being a real haymaker or two coming from Rigby, particularly from quarterback Flowers and his connections with his wide receivers to take a 20-0 lead here at halftime. And it is Rigby 20 and the Mustangs of Eagle nothing. We'll be back to take a look at what is going on around the state and kind of recap the first half of this ball game when we return in just a moment.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
We're Valley-wide Country Store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Look at that. The unmistakable swagger of someone fully covered with health insurance through Your Health Idaho for as low as $0 a month. If you're as speechless as I am right now, say nothing. Health yeah! Enroll by December 15th and you could qualify for quality health insurance starting at $0 a month.
Hello?
I was in an accident.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I had my seatbelt on.
Through storms and bad weather, sure as the sun.
You're welcome. Here's your hot chocolate milk. You're welcome.
From the desert to the freezing cold, wish I could see it from the stars.
Is your bagel and cream cheese? Can I get you anything else? Good to go. Okay, great. Try it out.
We're working together to build a more sustainable future. Learn more at unbottled.com.
I'm Jen Mingalki-Seiler, and I'm from Moscow. I think it's really important to get vaccinated because it's not just about me and my health, it's about the people around me. We have a lot of friends who have disabilities or have different health conditions. I want to make sure I don't make anyone sick. So we chose to get vaccinated to keep each other healthy.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy. It takes courage and determination to do hard things. Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
We are back at Eagle High School. It is halftime, and the Rigby Trojans with a 20-0 lead over the Eagle Mustangs as the Trojans try to get back to the state semifinals yet another time and looking for their fourth straight trip to the state championship game, if they can possibly make that one happen down the road. But they've got to hold on to this one. Some interesting other scores from the conference. One game is final already in the 5A ranks, and that is Highland, which defeated Rigby earlier this season in October and got the top seed. Highland was defeated at home tonight by Mountain View. Mountain View, which has come on strong after losing several ball games early in the season of the Southern Idaho Conference. Valentine Gomez-Ricks had a 35-yard touchdown run with 28 seconds left from Mountain View to defeat Highland 30-24. Trying to look at some other scores. Not sure if this is a final or not. For those of you in eastern Idaho, halftime it is Sugar Salem 41-0 ahead of their ball game. At halftime, Homedale a 21-0 lead over South Fremont. Sandpoint has an early 7-0 lead over Shelley, and Aberdeen with a 34-30 win in their ball game. Also being brought to you tonight on IdahoSports.com. So there's some of the up-to-dates that are going on. And, of course, with Highland falling, that changes the bracket a little bit here in the 5A ranks. They were home, and they are now out of this one. So Mountain View with it, as we said, 30-24, I believe, was the final score on that one again. We'll take a look at that. Yes, 30-24, Mountain View with the upset win on the road. Elsewhere tonight, Middleton is at top-ranked Meridian. Here, Rigby with a 20-0 lead over Eagle. And in North Idaho, Rocky Mountain College, which is a school just about 5-6 miles away here from Eagle High School, and both part of the West Ada School District, is up north taking on Post Falls tonight in a game that would have been a little bit later start. Elsewhere in playoff action scheduled tonight, as we've said, Sandpoint with an early 7-0 lead against Shelley in the 4A ranks. Twin Falls is at Skyline. Blackfoot is at Minico. And Pocatello is taking on undefeated and top-ranked Bishop Kelly on the other side of Boise here from where we are, sitting here on the foothills, the Eagle foothills to the northwest of Boise. In the 3A ranks, Fruitland is at Sugar Salem and getting it handled pretty handily. The Sugar Salem winner would be taking on the Buell Teton winner. South Fremont trailing Homedale early, and the winner of that ball game will face the winner of tomorrow afternoon's 3A rank matchup between Weiser and Bonners Ferry. So that gives you a brief idea of what's going on in some of the other ball games around the state in the playoffs that are going on. In the 2A ranks, Kellogg is at Bear Lake. Westside is at Declo. North Fremont is at Firth. And as we said, Aberdeen with a win over Melba, it appears. Melba was the home team, but Aberdeen with the win for the last we saw at 34-30. In the 1A Division I ranks, Lighthouse is at Oakley, Cary is at Notice, Raft River at Grace, Butte County at Kamei. Many of the Division I and Division II 1A games are being played on Saturday. Camas County is at Kendrick in the Division II ranks, Castleford at Council, Dietrich at Rockland, and Garden Valley is up at Mullen. And so that ball game will be right here on IdahoSports.com as well tomorrow. So a lot of action yet to happen, and a lot of action's already taken place on the field here tonight at Eagles Thunder Stadium, Jecker Field. It's good conditions on the football field. We have really not seen any slipping or any kind of sliding from all the rain that's taken down. Most of the rain damage, if you want to call it, is in the area that the team would normally be standing on, the visitor's sideline over here. And that is something that Eagle has not had they don't have as much on their side, but on the Rigby side, there's been plenty of water but everyone just kind of hurried up and scooched up to that yellow stripe that's kind of their barrier they're supposed to be behind, and they're just standing right in front of it, and the officials doing a good job of just allowing that to happen so the teams can stay engaged throughout this one. This is an IdahoSports.com GameStream production of the 2022 Idaho High School Football Playoffs. Tournament coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, Your Health Idaho, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, and the Idaho Transportation Department. Also brought to you in part by Valleywide Cooperative and your local Toyota dealers. In addition to our statewide sponsors for this particular ball game, coming from the local communities, Liberty, GMC, Fall River Propane, Idaho Drug, Jab Construction, Pro Pete, Taylor Chevrolet, Upper Valley Orthopedics, Scotty's True Value, Anytime Fitness, Idaho Housing, Bob's Bicycle. Just some of the sponsors helping to make this broadcast possible and free to you here on IdahoSports.com tonight. And crisp night, starting to get cold, but there's no wind. So it really hasn't been a factor down on the field. There doesn't appear to have been from many of the plays that we've seen. Certainly not in the passing game right now. The passing game for the Rigby Trojans has been the difference. Both these teams came out trying to run the ball early, had some success moving it but not completing the play until Rigby was able to actually take the lead late in the first quarter with 3:16 to go when they were able to get a little 1-yard dive, and that was dumped in there by McCullough, I believe. Got the score. The extra point was good from Witherspoon, and it was 7-0 in favor of the Trojans. Then Eagle had their threat came down, looked like they were going to try to even this one up. They ended up getting stalled out inside the 10, 12-yard line, went for a field goal to at least try to get on the board, had that blocked, and that seemed to be the spark that turned the Trojans on, and they got their engine running with the passing game, and Flowers was able to then find Brady Packer with a 12-yard touchdown strike with 2:36 to go. The Witherspoon kick was good. It was 14-0. And then after a quick 3-and-out and using their timeouts to save possession and get good field position, it was again a Packer strike from Flowers that set them up, but it was a 17-yard hit from Flowers to Cade Steffler in the end zone with 36 seconds to go before halftime. That made it 20-0. They went for two because there was a penalty on that against Eagle that moved the ball down to the 1-yard line. So rather than going for the single kick, they went ahead and went for two and came up short. So the tight running game has been really tightened down here in the second quarter, both directions, and the passing game starting to open it up, and that certainly has been to the advantage of the Rigby Trojans. They've got 20 here at halftime. They're averaging almost 40 points a ball game. In fact, the last 5-6 games of the season, they have averaged just over 40 points a ball game, and that is something that Eagle has not come back from too often this year. The Mustangs' highest scoring game of the year was a 45-point win against Nampa, a 45-14 win, and a 41-14 win over Bora. And most of their wins have come in that 10, 12-point margin, scoring in the 20s, giving up in the teens, where Rigby, on the other hand, has been, as we said, they've got 4 straight over 40. In fact, the only exception in the last 6 games where they haven't gone over 40 was a 28-0 win over Skyline, which is the defending 4A state champions and in the quarterfinals tonight, and then a 28-24 win over Blackfoot that is also in the 4A quarterfinals tonight. So you look at that entire schedule for the Trojans this year, and it's been tough from the start of the season right through a couple of Utah opponents. And the only hiccups, 6-point loss against American Fork down in Utah, and then, of course, the 1-point loss to Highland, 42-43, when they had a lead in the fourth quarter, but gave up 22 fourth-quarter points to the Rams. And if you missed it, we just reported earlier, the Rams ousted in the quarterfinals tonight as they were defeated by Mountain View at home in Pocatello. So that's the matchups that we've been watching. We'll try to keep you up to date with some of the other scores. The Rigby team is back out on the field and stretching and trying to maybe get warmed up a little bit. They don't probably feel like they've got quite the warmth and the comfort of the locker room that Eagle has being here at home. And the Mustangs have not returned to the field as of yet. According to the clock, we still got a couple of minutes before we move forward with a second half kickoff. It will be Rigby kicking off to start the second half, and so we'll follow up with that in just a moment. Fall River Propane serves all of the Upper Valley as well as Island Park with the highest quality, hottest burning propane at competitive prices. Our industry-trained and certified service staff offers more than 70 years of experience. Fall River Propane services all makes and models of propane fireplaces and stoves. They're your full-service propane provider for homes and businesses. Fall River Propane. Check them out at fallriverpropane.com or call anytime at 800-632-5726. Fall River Propane. Experience the difference. At Jab Construction, they won't tell you they are the right choice. They'll show you. As Rigby's #1 custom home builder, they're dedicated to honesty and communication to ensure your property is built the right way. When you use Jab Construction, you not only get your dream home, you get a lasting professional relationship. The way it should be, with decades of experience. Let Jab Construction build the home of your dreams. And they're excited to get to work. And they're also rooting for the Trojans to try to keep up with what they've already started here in the first half, with a 20-point lead here at the intermission. And they're heading back out on the field. In fact, their kicker Witherspoon is out there. He's already got the football teed up, and his Eagle is just returning on the far side of Thunder Stadium here and Jecker Field. Bob's Bicycles on the Fairview in Boise is family-owned since 1979, and their selection of mountain bikes, road bikes, BMX, cruisers, and comfort bikes, second to none. Whether online at bob-bicycles.com or on the showroom floor, Bob's Bicycles will have the bike, accessories, and clothing to fit your needs. And they have in-store financing, 6 months, no interest. Stop in, say hi to Vern. Bob's Bicycles, serving Idaho for more than 40 years and proud to support Idaho student athletes. And those athletes starting to get back out onto the field. And I'll tell you, Mr. Witherspoon is anxious to get his foot into that football. He's been out there for about a minute and a half, has that pigskin all teed up at the 40-yard line, and yet his team is not out there with him yet. They're now starting to move toward the field, and Eagle is on the far side, just still stretching. They're not showing that they're ready to step up. In fact, still showing about 35 seconds on the countdown here in the first half. This ball game being brought to you on IdahoSports.com. Del Gray here at Thunder Stadium in Jecker Field in Eagle for tonight's broadcast between the Trojans of Rigby and the Eagle Mustangs. I was thinking back the other day, the last time I had actually covered a Trojan football game, and I had to go all the way back to 1978 when the Rigby Trojans played in the Cross-State League, a short period of time when there was a small group of schools in a certain size. Caldwell here in the western part of the state. I believe Mountain Home was in that, Rigby. And I remember driving up and broadcasting a ball game out of Rigby, and that would have been in 1978. So football hasn't changed that much. Still top performances coming out of Rigby, and they're showing it here tonight. And the Eagle Mustangs going to have to see if they can come up with something on this first possession to get back into this ball game. Down 20-0, it's not over with. But they're going to have to show some explosiveness and the ability to stop that Rigby passing game, which turned out to be lethal in the final 3 minutes of that first half, with two of the scoring strikes from Luke Flowers to a couple of his wide receivers. Now Witherspoon has his teammates lined up beside him, but they're still waiting for the black-clad Eagles, the Mustangs, to take the field, and now they're coming out. So we're just about ready to go with second half. It's Rigby 20, Eagle nothing. And the Mustangs will be looking for the kick from Witherspoon and back deep to receive it. Mikhail Sneeden on the left side of the hash marks. And we cannot see the number. I believe it's Duarte clear over on the right side of the hash marks. And that's looking at the hash marks from the point of view that Mr. Witherspoon, as he kicks into it, and he's going to squib this one down. He's not going deep, and there's not going to be any return. Just simply falling on that football and covering it up is Jake Mortimer. He's going to fall on the squibber that goes out and falls out of bounds about the 28-yard line. So Eagle will get its first opportunities here in the second half, as we're just underway. Again, passing on the one final we have from the 5A ranks. Mountain View apparently coming from behind in the closing seconds to knock off Highland. And the other games still up in the air in the quarterfinals. This one right now, Rigby certainly has the upper advantage. Rocky Mountain and Post Falls probably just getting kicked off up in northern Idaho. Jake Longston counting signals, has one man with him in the backfield. He gives the handoff, and moving forward with that is Noah Burnham. Burnham, I keep wondering if this is a mistake in the roster we have, because they list Burnham as a freshman, a 5'10", 155-pounder. He looks bigger than that, certainly runs with a lot more authority than what you would expect from a freshman in the 5A level. He's able to get about 3 yards on that carry. So with the ball nosing up to the 30, Eagle facing second down. Longston in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's looking downfield. He's firing to the right side to Duarte. Duarte goes up, and he's going to draw the flag. You can hear the reaction from the Rigby fans in front of us. Duarte slowed up and went up for it at the Rigby 45. The ball is incomplete, but they're going to tack 15 yards on, I believe, for defensive pass interference. You know, in high school ball, sometimes pass interference is a really good defensive play because you don't go to the point of the foul. You just pick up 15 yards, and that's exactly what's going to be marched off here, out across to about the 47-yard line, I believe. We'll make it right at the 45 is where they're going to put it. So at the 45 of Eagle, the Mustangs will have 1st and 10. We're just 45 seconds into this second half, and they're moving forward, trying to see if they can get back in this ball game. We got trips split to the top of this field. Back in motion comes Duarte as he comes around. Longston's looking downfield, fires it over into the middle of the field. He was trying to get it to his wide receiver, his tight end. I believe that's Cal Huish, a 6'4" junior. And the pass a little bit low. Huish cannot come up with it. Now we got all kinds of, thought maybe we had a flag because Rigby pointing backwards against Eagle, but apparently it's just an incomplete pass. And it'll be a 2nd down and 10 for Eagle at their own 45. Longston fakes the handoff, is going to keep it, goes to the right side, and he's going to get nothing. Looked like for a moment there was going to be a little space, but he's drugged down maybe for a yard loss defensively in there for Rigby, number 54. That is Siope Fangupo. Fangupo with the takedown. Great defensive pursuit. They're going to leave it right at about the 45-yard line, so we can't officially count it a tackle for loss because it's basically nothing. But good defensive play by Vangupo. Longston with 2 receivers split to the left. He's looking downfield, fires into the slot. Great reception for 1st down yardage. That'll be picked up by McKay Tillery, I believe. Excuse me. That was Jack Weaver that came up with the reception. Weaver gets it into Rigby territory down to the 38-yard line. So a nice completion from Longston as Weaver came on a little bit of a crossing pattern, more of a post really, but not a kind of a skinny post. And he gets it down to the 38-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Eagle. Opening possession here of the second half, and the Mustangs trailing Rigby 20-0. Longston hands it off. Straight ahead is Burnham. He's going to get 4 yards, 5 yards, maybe make it 6 or 7. They're going to get him all the way to the 31-yard line. It's almost like double clutching an old pickup truck. Kind of stuttered and stopped, and took off again, and then changed gears and jumped forward for a couple of more yards. We'll put it at the 31-yard line. We'll call that a 7-yard pickup for Burnham. And the Mustangs on the move. Coming to the near side, Duarte. He's going to double stack and the split out on the wide receiver. He'll be the back receiver of that pair that split. Longston's looking for Duarte. Fires it across the middle, and Duarte was wide open, but the pass was low, and he cannot hold on to it. Would have been an easy 1st down inside the 25, but there was no one there. He started to go deep and then cut across, and the defenders went with his running mate, went deep, and Longston misses him. So it'll be a 3rd down and a long 3 coming up for the Mustangs. Again, they really have to score on this possession. There's lots of time, 9 minutes and 6 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter, so there's lots of time on the clock to work with, but they can't waste this opportunity with this opening possession. Now 3 minutes into the half, pitch goes outside to Burnham. He breaks the tackle. He's inside the 25 all the way down to the 21-yard line. And that'll be a 1st down. Burnham has great quickness as he gets outside and finds a little bit of room is all he needs. And it'll be at the 21-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. So this opening possession has now gone over 3 minutes. They've moved it so far about 50 yards. They've got 21 more to go in order to get on the scoreboard here and try to make a ball game of this one. Hand off to Burnham. No, keeping it is Longston. Longston goes to the left. Now he cuts back into the right and will pick up 3 yards down to the 18-yard line, it appears. So a 2nd down and 7 coming up. Going to give him 6? No, it'll be 3. 2nd down and 7 coming up for Eagle. Going out of the ball game. Trying to check and see a little shifting going for the Eagles on the far, the Mustangs on the far side. Splitting to the top of the screen, or to the left is Jake Mortimer. Duarte is down here on the right side of the screen. Longston calling signals out of the shotgun, fires it across the middle. It's tipped into the air and it's intercepted. It was tipped up at the line of scrimmage, and coming up with the takeaway is Wyatt Good, I believe, number 24 of the Rigby Trojans. Huge defensive play by the Trojans. They're 2nd deep in their own territory. Eagle had it deep inside the 10-yard line in the first half and went for a field goal, had it blocked. And now on 3rd down and short, it looked like they had a pass play that was open, but it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it is picked off by Wyatt Good. And it is 1st and 10 Rigby now at their own 18-yard line. Flowers calling signals, fires it out into the flat, gets it into his running back, who's going to get a couple of yards and no more. Trying to double check. It looks like that was actually Jace Benedict that got the pass out of the backfield. And Rigby not taking any time in the huddle. They're going right back at it. 2nd down and 8. They're wanting to roll. They've got 2 receivers split to the top of the screen. In motion now, moving to join him is Brady Packer. Handoff right up the middle for 1st down yardage is number 1. That is Sam Gamino. Gamino with a quick hitter. All the motion was going to the right side, and Gamino brought it back off left tackle and picked up good yardage. 1st and 10, Rigby at the 30. Trying to see, they've scored on their last 2 offensive possessions. Gamino fires forward, gets 6, maybe 7 yards, out across the 35-yard line. They're going to place that one, I believe, at the 36. No, they're going to pull it all the way back to the 35. So we'll call that 2nd down and 6 coming up for the Trojans. 6:47 remaining 3rd quarter, and Eagle, for the 5th time tonight, have one of those edge rushers jump the line of scrimmage. Hopping across there, trying to make the something happen was Justin Moss. Moss also the kicker for Eagle, but he plays that rush end. And that'll be a quick 5 for Rigby, and all of a sudden it's 2nd down and 1 instead of 2nd and long. Flowers has Gamino behind him. He is off to his right side. Hand off to Gamino. He's not going to get the 1st down. He gets to the 40, and he had to get to about the 40 and a half. It'll be 3rd down and short coming up for Rigby. They're going to place it just shy. The nose of that football just sniffing but not touching the chalk at the 40. So 3rd down and a short one coming up for the Trojans. This would be a big down for them to try to not only get a 1st down, but to run some more clock with that 20-0 lead midway through this quarter. And Gamino breaks a tackle at the 45. He's to the 50, and he'll dive forward down into Eagle territory at the 47, 48. They're going to place it at the 48-yard line. So Sam Gamino, taking advantage of what has been a prolific passing attack to the perimeter, has softened up the underbelly of the Mustangs, and he's picked up 2 straight 1st downs on nice, nifty runs. And Rigby, who got possession of this ball inside their own 20 after the pass that was deflected into the air and intercepted, is making the drive downfield. Flowers back to pass. He's going to fire it up, fires it out there, has a receiver out there coming under it and running home for the touchdown. From 48 yards out is Brady Packer. .5:29 remaining here in the third quarter, and the Rigby Trojans may have just put the stamp on this one. They have moved their lead to a 26-0 margin. They can make it 27. The Witherspoon kick is up. It is good, and that is exactly where we are. It is Rigby 27 and Eagle nothing with 5:29 remaining here in the second quarter. And I'll tell you, Mr. Flowers has been throwing that football around like it's a BB. He threw that one out, put some air under it, and allowed Packer to run under it. He's been throwing crossing patterns, and this time it was simply the fly down the left side, and it goes for the big touchdown. And the comeback hopes of the Eagle Mustangs have been dealt a rather serious blow here midway through this third quarter. Idaho Drug and Rigby, a tradition in pharmacy since 1947, where your health is their priority. Whether you need a prescription refilled on their mobile app or a gift for that someone special, visit Idaho Drug at 139 East Main Street for all your pharmacy and drugstore needs. They also offer free local delivery. Idaho Drug, proud supporters of Rigby Athletics, wanting to wish the boys good luck in the tournament here. You know, Pro Peat fertilizer is an enviro-friendly product that reduces leaching. Pro Peat can help replace organic matter back into the soil. Peat-bound nutrients released when plants need them. Carbon 90 Plus binds nutrients to the natural carbon of peat moss, encouraging steady plant growth for a healthier turf with less mowing and thatch. Pro Peat, great product for turf and ornamental applications. Uses range from lawns and gardens to shrubs and trees. Pro Peat wants to wish the Trojans good luck in the tournament. Here comes Witherspoon again, another squibber, and this one's going to go out of bounds. That'll draw the flag. Eagle could have come up with the ball at about the 29-yard line, but instead they let it go on and trickle out of bounds. So the Mustangs are going to have 70 yards to go, and they're going to have to go quickly, and they're going to have to go often because they trail this one by 4 scores. And I'm not talking Abraham Lincoln 4 score. We're talking 27 points. And we're actually going to bring this one back as Eagle has decided they're going to take the penalty and have Rigby kick again rather than simply taking the march off from where it went out of bounds. So now Witherspoon will be towing it up at about the 35-yard line. And obviously Eagle hoping they can get some type of return and maybe get some kind of spark for their offense with their special teams. And right now, the special teams have been the big defensive stops that Rigby's been able to come up with twice down inside the 20-yard line. And this squib kick goes right up the middle of the field where Eagle will take it at the 25-yard line and taking it forward but not getting much beyond the 35. That's number 23 for the Mustangs. That is Roy Hull, 6 foot, 195-pound senior. Hull will get it to about the 35, make it the 36, and that's where Eagle will start again. On their first possession of this second half, they were driving down the field, had gone from their own 30 all the way down inside the 20, only to have a pass play batted into the air and then intercepted by Rigby. And the Trojans did not take long to make the Mustangs pay for that miscue, especially the last 40-plus yards coming on the pass connection. Jake Logsdon going to be called on to fire a lot. He has another pass that's tipped and nearly picked off. He was trying to take it across the middle. Jack Bredrero has an opportunity to get to it but cannot. Outside the linebacker, senior linebacker. It'll go incomplete and second down coming up for the Mustangs. Seems like some of the Mustang crowd on the far side of the field has already left, even though we're in the third quarter. Rain stopped about the time the game actually got underway. The last hour before game time, though, it was coming down pretty good here at Thunder Stadium. Longston looking downfield. He's going to fire it out into the flat. I believe that's Duarte coming up with the reception. That'll be nearly a first down, but not quite enough. An 8-yard pickup on the pass to Duarte. And it'll be make that third down and about 3 coming up for the Eagles. For Eagle Mustangs. Always want to call them the Eagles. They've got to get it all the way out across the 36, so it's a long 3 here. Make that the 46-yard line. They're currently at the 43, just inside of it. Big third down play with 3 men split to the bottom of the screen. Quick pass goes outside, and the completion is made to Noah Burnham, but Burnham slips and then is drilled immediately at the 40-yard line. So a loss of about 3 yards on the play. It'll be 4th down in a long 6 coming up for Eagle, and it looks like the Mustangs are going to punt this one away. With 4 minutes and 18 seconds to go, they apparently don't think it's quite 4th down territory in your own territory. So stepping way back, boy, the punter is a good 16 yards behind the line of scrimmage, waiting for the snap. And it's going to be snapped short, and keeping the ball and getting the first down yardage for the Eagles. It was snapped short. He faked a handoff, and then coming forward for that yardage, I believe, was number 5, Carter Davis. So Davis, 6'4", 220-pounder, races around the end and gets it right to the 50-yard line, enough for the first down. So a little trickery there. When we were looking at the setup of the formation with 3 men about 5 yards behind the scrimmage, we were not surprised of the direct snap. But a little surprised with the faked handoff, and the man who got the snap actually held on it and came the opposite direction and was able to pick up the first down. Eagle with 3:26 to go, trailing 27-0. Desperately needing to get some points on the board before this quarter is out, particularly the way Rigby has moved the ball. They've scored on their last 3 possessions. Longston looking downfield, fires a nice crossing pass. Boy, what a stick made. Great catch by Jake Weaver, and then he is drilled at the 36-yard line. It's enough for a first down, but Weaver's going to feel that one as Reggie Groom put the hit on him. Going to place that one at the 34-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Eagle. Beautiful pass from Longson. Pitch goes back. Duarte moves up inside, and he's going to dive forward. Take that. That's not Duarte. That is Noah Burnham. And Burnham's going to get about 6 yards on that. We'll mark him at the 27-yard line. 2nd and long 3, short 4 coming up for Eagle. Again, showing a little bit of mix right now with passing plays over the middle. Of course, Rigby playing maybe a little bit more prevent than you would if you didn't have a 27-0 lead. Keep everybody in front of you. And make sure that if Eagle's able to move the ball, it takes some time to do it. Longston's under center this time. Longston, handoff to Burnham, and he's not going to get anywhere. He is buried. Looked like for a moment they were going to do a reverse to Duarte. Thought maybe that motion was going to pull the Rigby defenders out, and they did not. They did not buy at all. The loss of a yard on the carry by Burnham. 3rd down and a long 4. They've got to get it down to the 24-yard line. And right now they're sitting out there at their 28-yard line. 3rd down, minute 25 and the clock is running here in the third quarter. as Eagle trying to avoid losing for the third time in 4 years to Rigby in the playoffs. They've lost twice, 19 and 20 in Rigby. This will be their first one at home. Pass into the corner, and coming up with the ball and the touchdown. Let's see, that's Duarte, I believe. It'll go as a 32-yard touchdown strike. That was a pass, a beautiful pass from Longston, but he was. You got to give the credit to Ian Duarte. He had two defenders on him in the end zone, but he pulls it in. And with 1:04 to go here in the third quarter, Eagle is finally on the board. Now we have a whistle as they go for the extra point, and before they can get a snap, I believe the penalty will be against Eagle. It's going to back them up, make that a little bit longer extra point attempt. Remember, late in the first half, when Rigby scored their third touchdown of the half, they drew a penalty on the touchdown play that moved the ball down to the 1-yard line. So instead of kicking the extra point, they went for two and did not get it. So if Eagle were to be able to make some kind of big run back here, there's that 1-point differential that could be a deciding factor. Snap is down. The kick is blocked. That is the second. A field goal has been blocked and an extra point has been blocked. So Rigby special teams coming up huge here. And the score, with 1:04 to go in the third quarter, Rigby 27 and Eagle 6. The Mustangs kick coming shortly. Taylor Chevrolet is proud to support Rigby Athletics. Taylor Chevrolet has been serving the Upper Valley for over 90 years with excellent service and a stellar sales team. Taylor Chevrolet, home of oil changes for life. That's right, buy any new or used vehicle and never worry about your oil again. Taylor Chevrolet is your Southeast Idaho auto leader with a wide selection of Chevrolet, Buick, and Cadillac models. Come in today and get the vehicle you want with oil changes for life. Stop by their Rexburg location or visit them on their website at www.taylorchev.com. Well, right now, big defensive plays, even though they gave up a touchdown. Rigby continuing to come up with big defensive stops. They've blocked a field goal. They've blocked an extra point. They've stopped Eagle twice inside the 20. And that has been the difference as their offense has been cranking. They have scored on their last three possessions, the last two and the last 2.5 minutes of the first half. And they've actually only had the offensive possession once here in the second half with 1 minute to go in the third quarter. And Eagle's going to kick this one. It's going to go out of bounds inside the 10. Rigby lets it go out of bounds. And that should bring it up to the, I think they'll take that one. Rather than having them re-kick, they'll go ahead and take possession. Playing it safe at this point are the Trojans. Coach Gonzalez certainly has experience playing at the playoff level. Not just 1 or 2 games a year, but if he doesn't get 4, he's not happy. And he's certainly in that role here, an opportunity to try to get back. The winner of this ball game, I want to remind you, will be taking on the winner of the Rocky Mountain Post Falls game. And that will be at wherever that winner resides, the way the bracket works. So Rigby could be coming back here to the Treasure Valley and just a few miles away next weekend if Rocky Mountain were to upset Post Falls, or they could be making the trip all the way up to North Idaho and playing at Post Falls next week. Of course, for the Rigby Trojans, if they look all the way down the road and if they can make it into the championship game, trying to see where the matchup in the finals are this year. Not exactly certain. I believe if there's an East Idaho team in the championship game this year, which right now the only team that would be Rigby. That championship game, I believe, would be played at Holt Arena. In fact, looking at the matchups, otherwise, in fact, the only other option would be if Post Falls in the north would get it to the Kibbe Dome. But everyone else that's left right now in this, certainly at the bottom half of the bracket, is going to be a team out of the Treasure Valley, since Mountain View ousted Highland 30-24 tonight. And the other half of that quarterfinal has Meridian hosting Middleton tonight. So Rigby trying to put themselves in position. They might have to come back here next week. They're going to be on the road no matter what next week, either here or into North Idaho. But then they could be home for the state championship game if they can make it past the semis next week. Of course, they aren't completely out of the woods here. 44 seconds to go in the third quarter, and the clock is running. Flowers taking his time, counting signals. The Trojans have the football. Second down and about 8, and make that 7 at their own 37-yard line. Handoff will go to I believe that was 31. I don't have a 31 on the roster. Must be 32, Lucas McCullough. He's going to get about 4 more yards. So third down and short coming up for Rigby at their own 30, make that 42-yard line. And that's going to be the end of the quarter, as they're going to let it run out. We only have 12 minutes to play. Rigby has the lead. They have the football. And they're going to try to do everything they can to run this clock and pick up a victory on the road. After 3 quarters of the play, it is Rigby 27 and Eagle 6. You know, Bob's Bicycles on Fairview and Boise is family-owned since 1979, and their selection of mountain bikes, road bikes, BMX, cruisers, and comfort bikes is second to none. Whether online at bob-bicycles.com or on the showroom floor, Bob's Bicycles will have the bike, accessories, and clothing to fit your needs. And they have in-store financing, 6 months, no interest. Stop in, say hi to Vern. Bob Bicycles, serving Idaho for more than 40 years and proud to support Idaho student athletes. Bob's Bicycles, just one of the many sponsors helping to make tonight's broadcast possible here on IdahoSports.com. Others involved with that effort tonight: Taylor Chevrolet, Upper Valley Orthopedics, Scotty's True Value, Anytime Fitness, Idaho Housing, Liberty GMC, Fall River Propane, Idaho Drug, Jab Construction, ProPete. Also sponsoring tournament coverage here at IdahoSports.com, Project Filter, Your Health Idaho, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, and the Idaho Transportation Department. Also brought to you in part by Valleywide Cooperative and your local Toyota dealers. You know, you can make memories of a lifetime by owning a digital game file of this game for just $10. Yes, you can get a digital audio file only of these ball games. You can just click it right there on your screen. Order now, it says, and you can do it. And coming up with yardage, but not quite enough for the first down. That's a dive forward. And let's see. Trying to see who comes out of that pile with it. In fact, he's limping out of the pile and coming to the near sideline. He's going to be okay, but that was Lucas McCullough, who picked up 2. It's 4th down and 1, and Rigby is going for it in their own territory. And now we have a whistle and a timeout being called by Eagle. So the effort to go at 4th in a short yardage situation in their own territory maybe surprised Eagle a little bit, and they weren't satisfied with what they had set up defensively, possibly to defend against that. So they're going to call the timeout, because this could be a huge, huge play for Eagle to be able to put a stop and get that football back in Rigby territory. Upper Valley Orthopedics is the Snake River Valley's renowned, state-of-the-art orthopedic and sports medicine clinic. Doctors Michael Larson, Kevin Lee, and Travis Torngren are board-certified orthopedic surgeons treating all conditions of the shoulder, elbow, hand, and hip, wrist, knee, foot, ankle, and all sports-related injuries. Please call for an appointment at 208-356-9550 or request online at www.uppervalleyortho.com. Upper Valley Orthopedics in Rexburg, proud supporters of Rigby Athletics. You know, Anytime Fitness is Rigby's best 24-hour fitness center. Be sure to visit their location on Rigby Lake Drive to get started today. Get ready before the holidays hit so you can belly up to the table with a little less belly. Go Trojans for everyone at Anytime Fitness. Still going for it on 4th down and a yard, and we've got jumping. I believe we have a jump on the right side of the Rigby offensive line, and that may change their decision. It is going to be a 5-yard march off against Rigby. Now instead of 4th down and less than a yard, they're going to be looking at 4th down and just over 5 yards to go. Going to place that ball all the way back to the 39-yard line, and that does have Coach Oando Gonzalez changing his mind on his tactics, and he's going to send a punter out there. We have 11 minutes and 30 seconds, so we're just 30 seconds into this 4th quarter, but Rigby still holding to a 21-point lead at 27-6. That block of that extra point took away that risk of maybe losing one at the end. Deep snap, beautiful punt. It'll be taken at the 28-yard line. Call it at the 27 for a fair catch. That's Duarte saying, hey, I'll take it from here, and we'll take it from here. And that's exactly where the Mustangs are going to get it. They're going to put it at the 28, and it will be 1st and 10 for Eagle, trailing by 21 with 11:25. That is the first time Rigby has been stopped since the midway point of the 2nd quarter offensively. They had scored on 3 consecutive possessions before that one. And for Eagle, having scored on their last possession, this will be critical. If they can get a quick score to get here, all of a sudden, things tighten up a little bit. And when things tighten up, anything can happen. Scotty's True Value and CarQuest is dedicated to providing you with great customer service and a wide variety of products, unmatched to help take care of your every hardware, automotive, and weekend project needs. Located at 201 South State Street in beautiful downtown Rigby. Give us a call at 745-6498 or visit us online at www.truevalue.com/Scotty's and let us take care of you the hometown way. Scotty's True Value, proud supporter of Rigby Athletics. And right now, Rigby with the football. Eagle with the football, trying to climb back into this one. Longston's being chased out of the pocket. He's coming to the near side, and he's going to now slide short of the line of scrimmage. So he's going to take a loss intentionally. He'll slide down for about a 3-4 yard loss. And that wasn't Longston, actually. That was Brett Lildahl. So a new quarterback in there, Lildahl, a senior, a 5'10", 180-pounder. Seeing his first action at quarterback here in this ball game, and he's going to be the one calling signals here down the stretch in this 4th quarter. 10.5 minutes to go. Rigby with a 27-6 lead, and Eagle trying to fight back and get into this one. Lildahl goes back to pass, fires it out into the flat, has a man out there for what could have been about a 5 or 6 yard gain, but it will come up short as laying out for that one was Duarte. He cannot get to it, and it'll be a 3rd down and 13 coming up for Eagle. And this may be their last gasp to try to see if they can get back into this one. 10.5 minutes to go. 4th quarter, down 21 points. Brett Lildahl counting signals out of the shotgun. He's back to pass, fires it over the middle, and another pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you, that interior line for Rigby has done a marvelous job batting things down. You got Jacob Womack, number 66, nose guard. You got Siope Fangupo, defensive tackle. Also in there, Sam Webster, number 45. He's been knocking things around as well on that front, the 3-4 defense, kind of a flexing 3-4, and they have been deadly. And 4th down and 13 coming up, and it looks like Eagle is going to punt this one away. They faked it last time. This time they're actually going to get it through to their punter, who gets his foot into this one, and it's going to take a high bounce. And now it takes an Eagle roll down inside the 35, down inside the 30, down to about the 29. And that's where Rigby will take possession of the football and an opportunity to take total possession of this football game. They don't have to score, just use a lot of clock on this possession, and they'll be moving on to the semifinals for the 4th consecutive year. 27-6, that's the count. Rigby leading Eagle here in the 4th quarter of play. We'll be checking some of those other scores around the state and around the 5A ranks particularly. We do have a final in from Rexburg, where Sugar Salem defeated Fruitland 48-21. Halftime, Minico leading Blackfoot at Rupert 14-13. And that's what we've got right now, so that would be quite a ball game. Minico looked like they were on the ropes last week in the opening round against Valley View. Looked like they're going to get beat at home for the 2nd year in a row, but finally able to force that into overtime and move on to the quarterfinals. And now got their hands full with Blackfoot. And, of course, certainly the Broncos, good quality team there in the 4A ranks as well. Back to pass. Flowers fires it out, gets a nice, quick pass. It's really not going to gain any yardage. He put that out into the crossing pattern into the hands of Cade Steffler. Steffler already with 1 touchdown reception here this evening. They're going to call it no gain. He was coming across right at the line of scrimmage and went down with the pass. So 2nd down and 10 for the Trojans. Their own 29-yard line. Handoff goes inside and breaking it big time across midfield. The quick hitter, and that was trying to double check the number on that. That was number 30, I believe, Peyton Klingler. Klingler with the run, a burst off the left side, gets it all the way into Eagle territory at the 43-yard line. Huge burst. All of a sudden, it just like the line opened up, and he had lots of running room and was dragged down in Eagle territory. And that not only a 1st down, but running more clock. Flowers back to pass, fires a flat out into the flat to Steffler, and Steffler had just a bit of a window, but he was led just a little bit too much by Flowers on that pass play. We will be naming an IdahoSports.com player of the game when this contest is over with, sponsored by Idaho Transportation Department. And right now, you've got a couple of candidates. You've certainly got the quarterback Flowers throwing the ball well, but he's also had some great catches by Brady Packer and Cade Steffler. So a lot of candidates consider here as we go down to the final minutes of this one. Flowers, another quick pass over the middle. This time it goes into the hands of, hard to see the number, I believe it's the number 9. That'd be Cone Peck, junior tight end. So Peck gets the completion of the reception. It'll be a pickup of about 4 yards. We'll call it 3rd down and a solid 6 coming up for Rigby. Only 8:40 remaining in this ball game, a 27-6 Rigby lead. Flowers gonna air it out, drops a pass into the corner for the touchdown. 39 yards, Flowers into the hands, this time of number 12, Brady Packer. So Packer with his 3rd reception of the ball game, touchdown reception we should say. This one from 33 yards out. Flowers just absolutely perfect timing of it. And with 8:23 to go here in the ball game, Rigby has taken total control, looking for point number 34. They get that kick from Witherspoon. It is good, and it is 34 for the Rigby Trojans and 6 for the Eagle Mustangs, as Flowers has his 4th scoring toss of the football game. Well, we were talking about player of the game. He certainly added to that, but then you have to give some credit there to his wide receiver who ran under that one and picked up his 3rd receiving touchdown of the ball game. If you're an Idaho homeowner and have fallen behind on your mortgage because of the COVID-19 pandemic, did you know that help is available? The Idaho Homeowner Assistance Fund can help you get back on track. Check your eligibility and apply today at IdahoHousing.com/HAF. That's IdahoHousing.com/HAF. Or give them a call, 888-991-2166. Well, the folks up in Rigby got to be happy right now. This team is hitting on all cylinders, and offensively they have scored on 4 of their last 5 possessions and have simply taken control of this one on the road. They've beaten Eagle twice at home in the last 3 years during the playoffs, and now they're going to get the trifecta with their first taste on the road. Witherspoon to kick it off. He's going to squib this one again. It'll be picked up down at around the 10-yard line. Moving back up the field is number 8. That is Mikhail Sneeden. Sneeden will get across to the 20 to the 25, and the ball is ripped away from him, and the Rigby Trojans have taken possession at the Eagle 28. Simply trying to get that extra yardage. The Trojans pick his pocket and get the ball back, and now they can start feeling it. In fact, the folks in front of us, I honestly believe we've got more folks on this Rigby side of the field than there are across the way among the Mustang supporters. Of course, some of those have disappeared here in the second half. But Rigby in total control with a 34-6 lead, and they get the ball back. That is the 3rd takeaway they've had in the ball game. Let's see if the Trojans go a little deeper in the lineup or not. I think Flowers is back in. He's at quarterback, hands it off to Gamino. Gamino goes straight up the gut. He's going to get it inside the 15, all the way down to the 13-yard line, about a 16-yard pickup for San Gamino. So Gamino, that was sort of a second or an afterthought in the offensive flow that we've seen with all this passing attack from Flowers, has picked up huge yardage. And I imagine we're going to see a heavy dose of Gamino here in the final 8 minutes of this ball game, as they want to run the clock, but probably aren't afraid about getting on the board either. They've been averaging over 40 points a game, and they're knocking on that door. Gamino knocks on the door as he gets it down to about the 11. Maybe the 12. We'll just give him a couple of yard pickup. 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Trojans. 7:26, clock is running. They'll take their time. Quarterback Luke Flowers looking over to the near sideline. And this is the thing when I look at this roster for Rigby, there are a ton of juniors who are getting a lot of playing time on both sides of the ball. Some of them just sophomores as well. So this, don't want to necessarily say a pass into the end zone. Flowers, is it caught? Boy, he nearly drilled that into his tight end. And unable to come down with it. It's knocked away in the end zone. I believe that was actually number 22, Brevin Larson, but he was trying to get it to his tight end. So it'll go incomplete. 3rd down and 8 coming up. I don't know if dynasty is the right word we want to use with these Trojans. I'm not sure what qualifies that, but if you make the state championship game three years in a row, maybe a 4th on the way, I would say that That would fit my definition of a dynasty. Shovel pass inside from Flowers. Boy, that was a dangerous one. He actually makes the completion to Gamino, and he'll get maybe a yard, but no more. And it'll be fourth down coming up, fourth and a good 7.5 yards for Rigby. And are they going to bring they are going to bring the field goal unit in. Witherspoon going to get an opportunity to add to his points on the night. He has hit all four of his extra point attempts. The only extra point attempt that was no good was when Rigby attempted to go on a run play after there'd been a penalty. And Witherspoon kicks it up, and it is good from 29 yards out. So Witherspoon with 7 points on the night, 6:07 to go here in the ball game. And Rigby has advanced its lead now to a 31-point margin, 37-6 against the Mustangs of Eagle. You know, at Jab Construction, they won't tell you that they are the right choice. They won't tell you that. They'll just show you. As Rigby's #1 custom home builder, they are dedicated to honesty and communication to ensure your property is built the right way. When you use Jab Construction LLC, you not only get your dream home, you get a lasting professional relationship, the way it should be. With decades of experience, let Jab Construction build the home of your dreams. Excited to get to work for you. Go Trojans, say the folks at Jab Construction. You know, Anytime Fitness is Rigby's best 24-hour fitness center. Be sure to visit their location on Rigby Lake Drive to get started today. Rooting on the Trojans, everyone there at Anytime Fitness. And right now, you got to be happy at home there in eastern Idaho. I understand the weather's better in eastern Idaho than it is here in the Treasure Valley. This is the first time I've seen snow this early in November. 3 weeks ago, we were complaining it was still summer. We had 2 weeks of fall, and now winter is hit. And bringing it right up the middle for Eagle, breaking it at the 40, out to the 45, and then almost getting free and pounding the dirt as he's brought down at the 50-yard line. That is number 8, Mikhail Sneeden. Sneeden has had a couple of opportunities but could not get through the last line of defense. And Eagle will get possession at the 50, but they're unable to get that home run ball to come off the kickoff. Just inside 6 minutes, 5:59 remaining here. That's all the Trojans have to do defensively, is to defend with a 31-point lead and less than 6 minutes to go. Eagle coming back en masse from the far side, meeting with their coach John Hartz, moving out onto the field, and see if they can get a couple more points up on the board before this one's over with. Longsden counting signals. Nope, it is not Longsden. It is Lilsdahl. Lilsdahl looked like he was going to give it off, then kept it, then handed it off late, and making a dive forward, but getting nothing out of that, I believe was looking out there, I believe it actually was Noah Burnham that finally carried the ball and actually lost a yard. It's kind of a delayed running play. A lot of time deep in the backfield before they started moving north and south. Lilsdahl counting signals. Gets his snap. Steps back to pass. Now is chased out of the pocket. Steps out, fires it out to the left side. And he's looking for his receiver, intending it for Jake Weaver. Weaver stopped and came back for the ball and was ran into. That drew a personal foul, defensive pass interference. And then we have a late flag thrown as well, which I think will be tagged on as an unsportsmanlike call. Rigby defender not happy with the interference call to begin with. And we'll see if they'll be added on as 15 yards. We do have an interference. That's 15. And then we do have a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct for the 15 yards. And that'll march it off 30 yards from the 49 all the way. Actually, you can't march at 30. You can only go half. Well, they're going to march at 30. I think you can actually only go half the distance. Well, there'd be I'm not sure. Anyway, the ball's at the 21-yard line. I think that should have been probably placed at about the 26, a half the distance to the goal with the 2 infractions, but it's at the 21. 1st and 10 for Eagle. 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. A 37-6 lead for the Trojans. Handoff straight ahead for Eagle. Now a little bit of chippiness down on the field. I think the personal foul kind of got everybody riled up a little bit. They're going to place that ball at appears to be at about the 16-yard line. We'll call it a 5-yard pickup on the run play from Burnham. Lilsdahl fires a pass, kind of loops one to a wide receiver. The completion is good for a first down inside the 5, I believe. We're going to have 1st and goal for Eagle. Not exactly sure. I believe that was Justin Moss who came down with that football. So it's 1st and goal at the 5 for Eagle. 4 minutes, 15 seconds, and the clock is rolling here in the fourth quarter. Duarte goes in motion, gets the handoff, takes the sweep to the right side, and he's cut off. He tried to cut it upfield when he saw a little opening, and he may get a yard. I don't think they're going to give him anything. Oh, they're going to give him a yard to the 4. So it'll be a 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line for Eagle. Trying to get into double digits in this one. Their hopes of winning this ball game evaporated some time ago. They're trying to play for a little pride and play this one all the way to the finish. Quarterback's under center this time. He pitches it back deep. Being caught at the 5, and the ball is on the ground. And let's see, does Rigby have it? They do. The 4th turnover of the ball game. The 3rd time it's come inside the 20-yard line. Coming up with that pigskin is number 16, Parker Graham for Rigby. And they have turned Eagle away again. They're going to place that ball at about the 6-yard line. So with 3 minutes and 22 seconds to go, Rigby needs maybe 1, maybe 2 first downs, and then they can take a knee. 37-6. Again, Eagle 3 times now have been inside the 20, and they've turned it over. Let's see who's coming out. If Rigby goes to some different personnel on these final plays, I believe they may be. In fact, it looks to me like maybe Jacob Flowers, the freshman, number 13, is in the ball game. It is. He hands it off straight ahead. So now Jacob comes out, and into the ball game comes Brecken Cyril, replacing Jacob Flowers. We'll have to see what other changes they might have. They picked up about 3 yards, so it'll be 2nd down and a good long 7 at about the 7 or 8 yard line. Clock inside 3 minutes. Folks here in front of us starting to celebrate. We are on the Rigby side of the football field, the north side. Trying to see if Luke Flowers is back in at the quarterback spot. I don't believe he is. Handoff is going to come. Well, that was Jacob Flowers still in at the quarterback spot. So Jacob, a freshman quarterback, filling in now for his junior brother Luke, who's had a superb ball game, 4 passing touchdowns. In fact, let me double check. I believe that's 5 passing touchdowns. No, that's 4. And 3 of those to Brady Packer. 3rd down and a good long 6 coming up for the Trojans. The clock is inside 2 minutes. Continues to run. Jacob Flowers calling signals now. Stop, whistle, blown dead. Probably a motion call or a procedural call. Or do we have a timeout being called? Apparently timeout was called by Rigby. So with 1 minute and 46 seconds to go, they're going to have an opportunity to figure out how they're going to deal with this 3rd and long deep in their own territory and see if they can come up with something that may be able to allow them to run the clock out in this ball game. Taylor Chevrolet, proud to support Rigby Athletics. Taylor Chevrolet, serving the Upper Valley for over 90 years with excellent service and a stellar sales team. Taylor Chevrolet is the home of oil changes for life. That's right, buy any new or used vehicle and never worry about your oil changes again. Taylor Chevrolet, Southwest Idaho auto leader with a wide selection of Chevrolet, Buick, and Cadillac models. Hop in there tomorrow and get the vehicle you want with oil changes for life. Stop by their Rexburg location or visit their website at www.taylorchev.com. Scotty's True Value and CarQuest is dedicated to providing you with a great customer service with a wide variety of products unmatched to help take care of your every hardware, automotive, and weekend projects needs. Rigby back out on the field right now with a 3rd down and long deep in their own territory, simply trying to run out the clock. And the pitch goes to the quarterback who's going to break it for 1st down yardage. A huge gap opened on the quarterback draw right up the middle. And moving it for 1st down yardage is Jacob Flowers all the way out to the 20-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 Rigby. And the clock is running with less than 1.5 minutes to go here in the quarterfinals of the 5A state championship playoffs here in the state of Idaho. And right now, Rigby well on its way to moving on to the semifinals yet again in the 5A ranks. Right now, Flowers and Rigby taking all the time in the world just to even get up to the line of scrimmage and let that clock run down. And they're going to actually take a knee here on that 1st down. That gets the clock down to 1:04. They're going to probably have to take the knee maybe twice more before this one is over with. But they do not have to give up the possession of the football. They are well on their way to moving on with that 37-6 lead. And again, big turnovers, big defensive plays, just consistently every time it looked like Eagle was going to spark some new life with it. And they just got it snuffed out, and 3 of those times inside the 20-yard line. Upper Valley Orthopedics is the Upper Valley, Snake River Valley's renowned state-of-the-art orthopedic and sports medicine clinic. Doctors Michael Larson, Kevin Lee, and Travis Torngren are board-certified orthopedic surgeons treating all conditions of the shoulder, elbow, hand, and wrist, hip, knee, foot, ankle, sports-related injuries. Please give them a call for an appointment at 208-356-9550 or request online at www.uppervalleyortho.com. Upper Valley Orthopedics in Rexburg, proud supporter of Rigby Athletics. And that is it. The clock is triple zeros, and the Rigby Trojans have posted a 37-6 win over the Eagle Mustangs on the Mustangs field here in Eagle at Thunder Stadium. It was all Rigby from about the midway point of the 2nd quarter when they put together 3 consecutive scoring drives at the end of the 1st half and the start of the middle of the 3rd quarter. That gave them the lead, and then it was the defense with big plays that just simply turned Eagle away. And it's another win for the Trojans, and they move on to the state semifinals for the 4th consecutive year with a 37-6 win over the Eagle Mustangs. We'll be back with our IdahoSports.com player of the game and a wrap-up of this one when we return in just a moment.
Yeah, I know a little something about myths. Like the myth that speeding isn't dangerous. Oh, and that myth you can tailgate at a safe distance. Or that you could safely weave in and out of traffic. Don't be fooled by myths. You'll get yourself into a hairy situation. Stay focused on the road. Be a legend like me. Have you heard the one about Charlie over at Pay Lake?
Look at that. The unmistakable swagger of someone fully covered with health insurance through Your Health Idaho.
Health yeah!
Enroll by December 15th and you could qualify for quality health insurance starting at $0 a month.
I'm Rick. I live here in Rupert. The more that we can keep the virus under control, the better for everyone, and especially people with disabilities that comes with being aged, because usually have other underlying issues. I actually suffer from diabetes now, so that even increases my odds that if I do get the virus, it could be devastating for me.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy. It takes courage and determination to do hard things. Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
If a pedestrian is hit by a car going 20 miles per hour, there's a 90% chance he will survive. At 30 miles per hour, the likelihood of survival decreases to 60%. And at 40 miles per hour, it goes down to 20%. 10 miles per hour makes all the difference. You're in the driver's seat. You have the power to save lives.
Well, welcome back to Thunder Stadium here at Eagle High School, where the Eagle Mustangs have seen their season come to an end at the hands of the defending 5A state champions. Yes, it was the Rigby Trojans turning it on in the latter portions of the first half and finish this one off as they come up with a 37-6 win over the Mustangs here on their home field. Wet and rainy night before the game started. It was actually no rain during the game, and it was really not a factor in the contest, as it was the Rigby passing game that was something else. They kept coming up with great connections, and Luke Flowers threw 4 of those scoring touchdowns, 3 of those to Brady Packer, and as a result, Luke Flowers will be our IdahoSports.com player of the game. He comes up with huge points time and time again throughout this one, it seems like. And the final score in this one will be a Rigby win by a final score of 37-6. They beat the Eagle Mustangs 37-6. Great game. Great start to the game. Looked like we're going to have a defensive battle in the first couple of possessions. A touchdown by Gamino with 3 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the first quarter got Rigby on the board. The extra point from Witherspoon was good. That made it 7-0. And then a short time later, with 2:36 still remaining in the first half, it was a pass play from Luke Flowers to Brady Packer from 12 yards out. The Witherspoon kick was good. It was 14-0. And then a quick 3-and-out and wise use of the timeouts gave Rigby the ball back at about their own 45-yard line with less than a minute to go. And a couple of quick pass plays, one from Flowers to Packer, set it up, and then it was a 17-yard strike to Cade Steffler for the score that made it 20-0 at the intermission. And then in the second half, Eagle drove the length of the field with the opening possession, but had a field goal attempt blocked inside the 20-yard line. And Rigby then took that possession, drove back down the field. This time it was a 48-yard pass connection from Flowers to Packer. And the kick from Witherspoon was good. It was 27-0. Ian Duarte finally came up with a 32-yard pass completion from Jake Logston with 1:04 to go in the third quarter to make it a 27-6 score, but that wasn't going to hold, as again it was a Packer from Flowers pass play about 4 minutes later that made it 34-6, and then a Witherspoon field goal with 6 minutes to go in the ball game made it 37-6, and Rigby able to get 2 more turnovers from Eagle deep in the Rigby territory in the fourth quarter, and that is how they're able to hold them off and pick up the victory 37-6. Rigby will advance. They will be playing at either Post Falls in northern Idaho, who is hosting Rocky Mountain tonight. If Rocky Mountain should pull the upset, then that ball game would be played here in the Meridian area next week, so Rigby would be making the trip back to the Treasure Valley. If Post Falls won, Rigby will be going north. The other half of the bracket, Mountain View, is upended Highland tonight, so Mountain View will be traveling to either Meridian or Middleton for the other semifinal next week. Meridian undefeated right now, and defensively just an absolute juggernaut. I would assume they've taken care of the Vikings tonight, but it's hard to say. That would be the other half. And for Rigby, if they want to play at home, they've got to win on the road again next week and then see if they can't get that ticket for their 4th consecutive state championship game and a shot at their 3rd in 4 years. And that, of course, is exactly what Coach Gonzalez and these Trojans and all these fans who made the trip clear across the state on a kind of a first winter day of the entire year, it seems like, really settling in across the entire state of Idaho, and that is the factor here tonight. But the final score, again, is Rigby 37 and Eagle 6. This has been an IdahoSports.com GameStream production of the 2022 Idaho High School Football Playoffs. Tournament coverage of IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, Your Health Idaho, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, and the Idaho Transportation Department. Also brought to you by Valleywide Cooperative and your local Toyota dealers. Also brought to you tonight by Liberty GMC, Fall River Propane, Idaho Drug, Jab Construction, Pro Pete, Taylor Chevrolet, Upper Valley Orthopedics, Scotty's True Value, Anytime Fitness, Idaho Housing Authority, by the Mountain River Ranch Christmas Dinner Shows, and also by Bob's Bicycles. I want to thank all of those sponsors to help making this possible. Special thank you to Beth Holt, the athletic director at Eagle High School, and everyone here at Eagle for their hospitality, helping getting this game to you, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Congratulations again to our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game, presented by the Idaho Transportation Department, and that is none other than Luke Flowers, the junior quarterback for the Rigby Trojans, who threw 4 scoring touchdown passes tonight and leads his team into the state semifinals. Again, thanks for joining us as Rigby defeats Eagle 37-6. This is Del Gray for IdahoSports.com. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you on down the road for more yardage. Good night, everybody.